Good evening, everyone, and welcome to It's Over Yanks podcast with our main man, the star of the show, Michael C.
The New York Yankees?
The New York Yankees!
Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, Costanza?
I must say, with all due respect, I find it very hard to see the logic behind some of the moves you have made with this fine organization. In the past 20 years, you have caused myself and the city of New York a good deal of distress, as we have watched you take our beloved Yankees and reduce them to a laughingstock, all for the glorification of your massive... The little light is blinking right now. Come and listen to the idiot. Hey, everybody, the idiot's on.
How you doing?
What's going on, Michael? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm actually not doing good. I'm just trying to hang in there. So, looks like the Yankees once again have done nothing. They didn't get Freeman, they didn't get Correa, and now we're just waiting to see if they get starting pitching. That's the last ditch for the Yankees this offseason because that's our last hope. So let's be, I guess, hopeful and keep our fingers crossed that the Yankees are going to make this trade with Oakland because there's rumors now going around that they're talking to Sean Manaea and Frankie Montas. So that's our last hope because they didn't upgrade their infield, they didn't upgrade their outfield. I still think they're weak defensively. Maybe they defensively in the slightly, but I still think that this team they didn't make any upgrades. I mean, they could have been so much better this team, and we're just running it back. So let's see what actually happens. I mean, they messed up every single thing that we wanted them to not mess up. I mean, we needed a shortstop, we needed a center fielder, a first baseman, and they just completely messed up every single thing that you knew they were going to mess this up. I mean, this is what they do, this team. And meanwhile, the Dodgers out west just signed Freddie Freeman, a real team, a real organization that wants to win, that cares about championships, and that cares about winning. So, big difference. This team doesn't care about that. And Mr. Hal Steinbrenner is saying that the reason why the Yankees couldn't sign Freeman or Correa is because they of COVID and because of the lockout, and also because of Peraza and Volpe. So that's your reason why? Because you're blaming the coronavirus and you're blaming the lockout. And, it's been a rough 2 years. This guy's a joke. He's an absolute disgrace to the organization, and I'm sick and tired of listening to excuses year after year after year with this man. The Dodgers don't have a budget. The Dodgers go out there and spend money every year, and they want to win the World Series. They care. And even if they do lose, they make it exciting every year. They give you a chance to win every single year, the Dodgers, where the Yankees don't even do that. They don't even give you a chance. I want a team that at least gives us a chance to win the World Series. I'm not a spoiled fan that wants to win every year. I want one championship. The Dodgers do that for you. They give you a chance every year, just like the Yankees did back in the day. This team doesn't do that. We've become a poverty franchise. No, I don't want Brett Gardner back for a year. I think Brett Gardner's time is up. He's too old, and he needs to go. We've seen Brett Gardner's time come and go, and it's time for a change. Enough with this old man. I mean, he's going to just weaken the Yankees even more. I mean, it's just bad enough that we didn't do anything this offseason. We added Josh Donaldson to the team. And
do you think it's still realistic?
With this team we have now, absolutely, I think it's realistic.
Are you optimistic?
I'm always optimistic.
Now, what makes you most optimistic about this year?
Say again?
Why are you optimistic with this ball club?
Because I think they have what it takes. This is a championship caliber team. I think the trade that Cash made was a great trade. We're going to miss the guys that moved on, but I think we addressed one or two of the needs that we had. But look, this team's got a lot of experience. It's a veteran team. They got a lot of heart, and I think we're going to see great things this year.
I'm going to be sick to my stomach. Is this guy actually serious? Is this guy actually serious? I mean, is this guy for real or what? I mean, this guy can't be serious. This guy's like in Neverland. What kind of an owner is this that we have? What's wrong with this man? He's the.
George is getting upset.
It's not even funny, man. I want to win a World Series. You got to look at it at a realistic standpoint. I mean, and don't use the excuses that the Yankees don't have a good farm system why we can't sign Freeman or Correa. The farm system has nothing to do with spending money. Our farm system doesn't stop us from going out there and spending money. Signings and trades are two different things. You could have gave Freddie Freeman 6 years, 165. What does that have to do with Volpe? Volpe's has nothing to do with signings. Trades is a different story. Maybe the Yankees don't really have the trades to make these moves, farm system. But come on. All right, so we have a $250 million payroll, but they're spending it in the wrong areas. They're not spending the money wisely. They're poorly constructed. This team. I mean, come on. They're poorly constructed. They have a $250 million payroll, so what does that mean? Yeah, they have a high payroll, but with a $250 million payroll, this team should have had a way better team than they have right now. I mean, come on, you got to agree with that. They should have had a way better team. We shouldn't have had a team that has Josh Donaldson on it and this Isaiah Khalifa, or whatever the frick his name is. I mean, come on. Don't you think with a $250 million payroll, we could have had a better team right now? It's not about superstar. It's about a winning team. Look at the Dodgers. They don't have a star at every position. They're a winning team. That's the team I want the Yankees to have. What's so bad about that? Everybody wants that. We all want that. All right, yeah, Freddie Freeman didn't want to come here. I understand it. Well, different story. At least the Yankees offered him a contract. So I'm not that devastated anymore. You see me going nuts because Freddie Freeman didn't want to come here. But the Yankees could at least, they could have offered him a little bit more. And then Correa, I don't know. He's not coming here. He's probably going to go back to Houston. I mean, he's probably going back. Now the Orioles offered him $300 million for 10 years. So I wonder if he's going to accept that or contract. Look at Chris Bryant. Signed 7 years with the Colorado Rockies. That was ridiculous. And that team's going nowhere. But you wonder if Correa really cares about the money. I mean, he just wants to go back to Houston. I mean, he's okay. He's not great, Casey. I mean, give me a break. What do you think we added? JT Realmuto? I mean, the guy, look at his – all right, yeah, he hits for average and stuff, but how often is he going to get hits on this team? Like 20% of the times?
Salute to Casey in the building. Salute, Casey. I hope you're doing well.
I mean, it's not a major upgrade. I guess slightly better, but – yeah, I love the Dodgers, what they do. I respect them as an organization, and I love the owner. I think he's like a George Steinbrenner. What's his name? Andrew Freeman? That's a freaking general manager I wish that we had, not freaking Brian Cashman or the guy in the Padres or Chaim Bloom. Those are general managers, not this guy. Give me a break. Or freaking D. Epstein. Bring him back and get rid of Brian Cashman altogether. I'm so sick of this guy. That bald head, he makes me sick. Tired of him. Now we got to just rely on pitching now because that's all the Yankees could do now is go after pitching. We failed on the infield and the outfield. They failed to upgrade all those positions, so now they have to get pitching. That's it. This is like the last ditch. This team isn't making the playoffs. I mean, I'm sorry. They're like a 65 to 70 win team right now on paper. If you think they aren't, then you're on drugs. Then you're nuts. You're crazy. Yeah, look at that, man. Come on, that rotation's awful. I mean, give me a break. And Domingo Germán is on the injured list. Thank God. I hope they release him, seriously. Yeah, but I just said that. You just beat me to it. I beat you to it. Domingo Germán should just be released. He sucks. He's no effect to this rotation. At least if you add Minaya and Montage, you have a chance. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's 12 teams in the playoffs. They're still not going to make it. Because if you remember 2 years ago, they finished. They almost didn't make the playoffs in last year too. Look how close they are to getting eliminated every single year. What is it going to be like this year? They only made the playoffs last year because they won that winning streak, 13-game winning streak. That's the only reason why they made it. And without that, they weren't going to make it. Judge and Stanton carried them to the playoffs, and then they got knocked out. And these guys just don't come up big ever when it matters the most. For once, I want to have an elite rotation where I could be confident where this team could win a World Series for once, They are going to be a 65 to 70 win team. How many wins do you think this team is getting? If you say 90 wins, you're on drugs. This is not a 90 win, 92 win team. No way. Right now, without any moves, they're not. Well, because they added Isaiah and I added Donaldson. What do you think? We're a World Series caliber team? I don't want them to make moves to make the playoffs. I want them to make moves to win the World Series.
Let me interject on that with your. I think they're a 90-win team. Here's
No.
the reason. Hear it out. Here's the reason why. They still have a strong bullpen. The bullpen, if you could say, got even better because now they could bring in Stephen Writing. They could bring
You
in
trust?
more,
You trust
they
a
could
role
bring-
with Chapman?
But you have you got Weisiger. You got relievers are for year to year. If you win a lot, you win a lot of your games anyway. Also, I think the catcher position and the defensively much better behind the plate. You're gonna have better catchers framing, getting ball, controlling the run game, and so forth. Up the middle, they're gonna be stronger as well defensively between the shortstop and the second baseman. Now, everyone else around the league didn't. The Rays, I don't think they got any better. They didn't make any moves. The Red Sox didn't make any moves. All right, so the Blue Jays brought in Matt Chapman, but they lost their Cy Young Award winning pitcher. They also lost their 40 home run second baseman. Matt Chapman, no matter how good he is, he's not going to provide that. I think they'll be okay. Are they going to be world beaters, World Series favorite?
I'm not worried. Yeah,
No.
no. I'm not worried about Matt Chapman from the Blue Jays, but I'm just saying that the Yankees. So you're going with the Yankee bullpen as a strength of why they're going to make it. What about?
I'm not saying that's you know what, you got to look at a positive, because if this team, if you got Judge, Stanton, LeMahieu, Rizzo, another year back in the Bronx, he was playing well until he got the COVID issue, and he just didn't get in that funk. Well, now the big wild card is going to be Gleyber Torres. If Gleyber Torres could revert back to what we thought he was on his
He also might get traded.
that too. That could be also another.
And Luke Voigt has to definitely be traded. I mean, he's not going to. He's 100% gone. There's no way he stays on this team. He's got no position now. I want him traded because I want to get pitching. And like I told you, the Yankees' last ditch is pitching now. They're focusing on pitching because they didn't upgrade what they were supposed to upgrade in the infield, in the outfield. So they got to go for pitching. Then I'm hearing catcher. They have their catcher. What catcher? They don't need a catcher.
Right, but see, I think a blockbuster move is coming with Oakland.
They're better because if they mess this up, because they already messed up first base, shortstop, and center field. If they mess the pitching up, then I'm sorry, man. This team's on life support.
No, I think they're okay. They're just not the sexy. When you invest $258 million,
but it's not invested. It's not invested smart though.
That's the right word. That's the right word.
Yeah, but they don't have a team that should.
Okay. But you got to stop saying the Yankees are cheap and they're not spending.
They're not. I didn't say they're not cheap, but they have.
You got to say that they're not investing their money.
They're poorly constructed. They're poorly constructed.
There it is. That's the wisest thing you have mentioned on your cast. The Yankees did not spend their money smart. They bought in a slugger in here in Costanza when they already had one in a lot and creating a log jam in positions.
Yeah. Okay, if they had a $258 million payroll, adding a Correa or Freeman and adding a Montaz and a Manoia, then I would have said, yeah, the Yankees, there you go. That's a team that wants to win. But this team is poorly constructed. They have a $258 million payroll with Josh Donaldson on the team. I mean, come on. That's not a payroll that should have a weak team. I mean, they shouldn't have a weak team with that high payroll. How is it that they have a high payroll and they have a weak team? They're not even a playoff team. How is that possible? You have a high payroll. You should have a World Series caliber team. You're not supposed to have a bad team if you have a high payroll like that. I never heard of something. Do you know a team that has a high payroll like that and they're not a playoff team? I mean, usually winning teams have high payrolls. I don't know any losing teams that have high payrolls. Do the Knicks have a high payroll?
But let me be a devil's advocate. Has the Yankees been on the 500 or losing record with that high payroll? No.
Yeah, but we don't build a team to make the playoffs every year and lose. We want to win a World Series. This is the team that's supposed to be a World Series aspirations. They're supposed to be a winning team. You're not supposed to be a team that just makes it to the playoffs every year and loses every year. It's bullshit. I don't like. You're happy with just a first-round knockout every year. I want a World Series, and so does the rest of the fan base. But you got an owner that doesn't care and a general manager that doesn't care.
No. It's not the playoff. No. It's not that we're happy with the playoff. What they've been giving us, but
yeah,
we're just combating your thoughts. You're going off the rails saying that they're a 70-win team. That's an understatement. You're calling them the Colorado Rockies.
Well, yeah, I don't think
they're not.
I'm not the only one that thinks they're not going to make the playoffs. There's a lot of fans that think they're not making it. I talk to millions of fans, and they think that they're a subpar team right now. You can't tell me that adding Josh Donaldson and that catcher from the Twins is making this team a World Series team or a playoff. I mean, you got to be out of your mind. Unless they added Freeman or they added Correa or they added.
They're a solid team. They're not a World Series.
I don't want a solid team. It's not good enough. We could have done a lot more.
But there is no other, according to the organization. There is nowhere of upgrading right now. They don't want to add more money.
They didn't upgrade shortstop. They didn't upgrade.
You can't. According to what they're telling us is they do not want to add bad money.
Oh,
they don't want to add. They don't want to add good. They don't want to add good money to bad money.
No, but what they're saying is they're broke. He just said it's been a rough 2 years because of the virus. Hey, come on, do you think the fans really want to hear that? So because we went through the virus, the COVID, they don't have any money. The guy's worth $5 billion, Steinbrenner.
I understand that. That point he comes off very unsensitive because there's families that are picking and choosing and barely scraping by, and that's what you call.
Yeah, and is the Dodgers general manager saying that we barely got by and we don't have the money? He's going out there and he wants to win. So what's the Yankees' mentality? What's their excuse? Well, they just don't have the money. Because what are fans going to say anymore? This guy just doesn't want to spend it. He could spend it. He has the money. He just doesn't want to spend it. That's the problem.
He just finished, and the thing is, they asked these questions to him on the couple days. He just finished writing an $80 million check to the city of New York for the what you call it, the insurance for the stadium, for the lease of the stadium. They just every year they pay the city of New York X amount of millions of dollars. He just finished an $80 million check where there was no. So he, you know what it is. People that rich billionaires always cry. That's why they stay billionaires.
I know, but you know what? The Dodgers are rich too, and they're spending money like crazy. They're spending money like crazy. Look at the Dodgers. That's a class organization. Their owner cares. They want to win. He's a fun owner. I heard he's just like a George Steinbrenner, this guy, Andrew Friedman, and obviously Steve Cohen. If we had owners like that, I guarantee you we would have had a championship by now, at least one. And that's all I would have been satisfied with. And I'm not spoiled like these other fans that want 2 or 3. I just want 1. But having a guy like this, you're not going to win. He just doesn't want to spend. There's a difference with being cheap and not wanting to spend the money. He doesn't want to spend the money. I mean, he just doesn't want to spend it. That's the problem. Why can't fans just be real with me and just say that he doesn't want to spend it?
Let me take. Hold on, break. Let's bring in the one and only, the Pope of the Pro.
Hello, Newman. Hello, Newman.
Hello, everybody. The Pope of Sports here out in warm West Palm Beach. Baseball spring training tomorrow. I hear everything you're saying. The Yankees don't want to spend money, even though they offered Freeman and he didn't want to come here. He wanted to go to California, where his family's from, of course. And then, of course, you have Matt Olson. Then they give up all their prospects. They're hoping to be the next Tatis, the next Jeter. We don't know what he could be. They don't want to give all their prospects and then have all these big contracts. Olson was 28. He got 8 years, 168, the same as Freeman. Freeman got about the same money as Olson, and Freeman is 33. So let's think about all this logically. I'd rather have Olson, but I'm not giving up my whole farm system. So I can understand why Cashman and Steinbrenner didn't want to go all in when you have Freeman asking for all these years, 6 years. He's 33. I'm surprised. Yeah. I heard Campbell was in there. Padres, he didn't want to come here.
Don't screw up the pitching staff. They better get pitching. That's all I know.
Don't say the Yankees are not trying. We don't know the facts.
I'm not trying, but
we'll see what the Yankees do. I'm hearing they're going after Minaya. They do need pitching. I agree with all that. They need to upgrade the pitching. They fixed short. I like their defense, and it got rid of Sanchez, which I love. I hate Sanchez.
Yeah, I hate Sanchez too.
So I think if they get Sean Minaya, and I heard they're not out on Correa, I'm surprised that they're not getting Correa, but we'll see if Correa lowers his terms, if the Astros don't bring him back. We'll see what happens. But
I knew we weren't getting Correa because the guy wants $350. I actually wanted Freeman more, but first of all, Correa is very controversial. He cheated with the Astros, so Yankee fans don't want to cheat it. But I would have welcomed them with open arms, but $350 million is a little too. That's
I'll be shocked if they added Correa. They said they're still interested, but I'll be shocked. They need 2 starters because now
we need pitching now. Focus on the pitching now.
Hamon is out 2 months, and Severino is coming off Tommy John, so they have to upgrade pitching. And Blue Jays improve. Red Sox and Tampa. They're lucky the Red Sox. I heard the Red Sox will maybe get Trevor Story. I hope they don't go after him. But the Yankees really have a lot of important things to fix. Tomorrow, you got the first spring training, Yankees and Pirates. Tomorrow, the Popa Sports is going to see the Nationals and the Miami Marlins. I'm going to see Donnie Baseball, Don Manley tomorrow. So it'll be a fun. I'm going to upload it. Make sure you check out the Popa Sports on YouTube and Entertainment. And Mr. Michael Caputo, I agree with a lot of the things you said about the money they have. They're not willing to, go all in. Well, he's not like his father. He's not his father. He's the son.
I know.
He wants to make profit and revenue. So he has a budget. He has to give Judge an extension. Remember, Judge is going to want to lose.
I know, but you know what? Even with Judge, you can't use the excuse that we can't go out and win a World Series. You got to still spend the money. You can't wait for Judge.
Well, they have. Yeah, if you add Judge, let's say he gets their payroll is going to be close to $280. Well, you have Chapman and Britton coming off next year.
Look at the Mets. They said they're willing to go with $290 million. The Mets.
Yeah, well, remember, they don't have long-term contracts like the Yankees, not as much. They only really gave Lindor and Scherzer's only 3 years. There's no comparison comparing Garrett Cole's contract to Scherzer. All these other stuff. The Yankees have so many bad contracts. They're just not very smart at giving out good contracts.
Well, maybe if they didn't have Stanton's contract right now and just had Cole, maybe they would have been able to get a Freddie Freeman or a Correa. They had 2 big contracts.
If they made smarter moves, maybe they learned how to develop and scout and draft.
Yeah, that's another. I know, but that's another story for another day. The farm system screws them over making trades. Signings is different. They can sign maybe.
If they learned how to scout and develop, they wouldn't need to spend all this money. They wouldn't need a first baseman, a third baseman, a shortstop, a center fielder. If they learned how to develop some of their prospects, and they turned out to be good, they're just not good at scouting. They're pitching. They're not good at developing.
Defensively, too. Do you think they got better defensively? Defensively, they're horrible.
They got better defensively at short because Coletta is a top 5 shortstop, and he can steal. They have more speed. The problem is, at first base, Rizzo's getting older. He's 33. I like him. He gets on base. He's a leadership in the clubhouse. Donaldson, the same thing, but he's 37, and they had to take out $50 million. They got a little bit older. That's a negative. But if they stay healthy, that's the problem. A lot of ifs, a lot of hope. If they stay healthy, if they can do what he did last year, if the Yankees, a lot of hope. But that's the thing. You're going to rely on a lot of question marks. The pitching, the infield staying healthy. It's a lot of questions. So the Yankees have to, that's why you have to scout and develop.
I will say this, though. If they get Montas or Manaea, I give their offseason a B. If they get both, I give them a B. If they do that. If they don't, then it's a C. No, a D.
You got a little static on your side there. Little static.
No, I said if the Yankees trade for Manaea and trade for Montas, then I would give their season a B.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're not finished. I don't think they're finished. I still think they're going to make – hello, Mr. Hill. Hill turn. How you doing, Astro, Texas Ranger fan? Is the Yankees going to get Correa, or he's going back to the Astros?
Sorry, I don't know where he's going to this point.
He looks like the Astros.
But all I know is I can finally say I'm leaning a little bit towards the Michael side of things. I think now that the offseason is about to come to a hold, you can kind of start. I've had the title this offseason for the Yankees. I will title it Bittersweet. Because he got better on one side, but in reality, it all feels the same, doesn't it?
Well, they got old.
Yeah.
It's the same identical team from last season.
The only problem is they got older at third, and first base, they're still old. So, and, a lot of older guys, a lot of, all or nothing still. Gallo still strikes out, Stanton, I hope that they stay healthy. Donaldson, can he stay healthy at least 140 games?
No, I don't trust him and his health. And the only thing that's good about him though is he does bring grit to the team. He brings fire. That's what you like. But that's about it. I mean, that's all. You need somebody that could bring fire to a team and get the team pumped up. So, and it's a shame Correa brought that to the team. I mean, he could bring that to a team, but the Yankees don't want him, so.
Yeah, and I guess if you had to look at some positive notes, you have Luke Voigt still. You got to trade him now that you got
to trade Luke Voigt. They're going to definitely trade him. He's gone.
Yeah, you have to now that you got Rizzo back. But here's the trick question though: with Rizzo having an opt out after his 1 year, what do you do then? Do you trade him if he has a bad first half, or
you talk about Donaldson? Donaldson is gonna. Who are you talking about? Who has an opt out?
Rizzo.
Rizzo. Yeah, if Rizzo, he'll probably opt out. I mean, it's 1 year. I mean, he might be gone after this year. So then the Yankees going to have to looking for another first baseman. I don't know who's available. And if you look at the free agents the next couple of years, man, this was such an important season. This was such a huge season for them, free agency wise, because the free agency the next couple of years is bad, man. Bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why they have to scout and develop. You think this Volpe, Dominguez, they better turn out to be stars. If the Yankees don't add Correa or Story, and this is the offense they go with, they better hope Volpe and Peraza are the top guys next 2 years, like Tatis, Trout. I hope this Volpe. They said Volpe is ranked number 2. Bobby Witt Jr. at the Royals, I think he's ranked number 1. So at least that's a positive. At least Volpe is actually ranked number 2 in baseball. So that's maybe the real deal.
I also can't believe that Chris Bryant got that contract with the Rockies.
Yeah, they won the trophy for being the most biggest idiots in the offseason. What is this? How is this going to help your team?
Why did they want Arenado back? But they let Arenado go?
They traded him to the Cardinals. And then they get Bryant all that money. What was the point of letting Story leave and trade Arenado and then you get Bryant for 7 years? What was the logic of that?
Their front office is really a bunch of clowns, man.
Do you think that Arenado's going to opt out after this season, or he's going to stay with the Cardinals?
No, he'll stay with the Cardinals.
Because there's rumors, I don't know. Did you hear the rumors? They're saying he wants to go to the Dodgers.
Yeah, but they don't have room. They already gave all that money to Freeman.
The Dodgers getting everybody, man. Don't be surprised when Juan Soto becomes a free agent. He signs.
The Yankees, if they were smart, maybe they don't spend money. They'll save their money for Soto for 3 years. You know,
he's a free agent next year, by the way, Arenado. So.
Yeah, I don't think he's
the only big name, and DeGrom, but DeGrom's going to stay with the Mets.
They're not going to leave. I can't see them leave. No way.
Oh.
Hey, we said that about Freeman. Look what happened. He's a Dodger.
Well, the Mets can't afford to lose DeGrom.
He's a franchise.
Yeah. Hey, the Braves couldn't afford to lose.
But they knew that Olsen was available. If Olsen wasn't available, would they let Freeman leave?
And that move, I'm telling you, the Yankees should have been all over that move. I wanted that. Olsen. I can't believe that. You mean to tell me that they couldn't give up their prospects, man? Come on.
They basically are. I mean, the Dodgers are the new Yankees. I'll admit that.
Well, the Dodgers are smart. They know how to scout, develop. They have smart people in the front office, smart people that know how to build the right plays, make smart trades, and they're smart. They know what they're doing. Look at their lineup. Like, look, Max Muncy, trade. Trey Turner, trade. Justin Turner, smart signing. All these guys, Mookie Betts, they took on his contract, traded for him because they had the farm system. Bellinger, developed.
I'm picking the Dodgers to win the World Series again. I'm sorry, but you just added Freeman to the lineup.
But remember last year they choked against the Braves.
Yeah, no, but they're going to be deadly again.
I have a hot take actually, and I'm not afraid to say it here live. I got the Giants going to the World Series.
Oh well, yeah, the Giants made some good moves, right? They're pitching and they're hitting. Jock Peterson or something, and they added Michael Boyd. They're making underrated moves, minor league moves, major league moves, low signings, bringing back the same guy again.
The Dodgers did win in 2020, though, Neil. They did win 2 years ago. I mean,
very small.
The 60-game season, but they did win the World Series, the Dodgers.
I know, but the question still remains: can they win in the full season? Because something always happens in the full season for some reason.
Yeah, 2020. I remember 2020, the bubble. There was no fans. Is that a real World Series or that's like a fake World Series?
Oh no, it's still a real World Series.
Yeah.
They still won it regardless.
Because it was 50 games, and they didn't play a full season, and there was no fans, no pressure. a lot of fans say that's like a Mickey Mouse worth there.
Yeah, and remember though, in 2020, the Dodgers almost blew that series. They were down 3-1. The Braves should have won that series against the Dodgers in 2020. They were up 3 games to 1.
Yeah, they had the lead and they choked. Yeah, yep.
When you think about it, right now as we speak, the Dodgers would have had no championship.
Yep.
They almost didn't win that. I don't know how the Braves blew that, and then the year after they beat them and they won the World Series. But it's anything can happen in baseball. It's a weird sport. It's a very unpredictable. It's anybody can beat.
Yeah. You got to have faith. The Yankees, I'm not giving up. They're going to add pitching. They're still in on Correa. Correa is still available, so I still have hope. Maybe Steinbrenner will change his mind. Maybe he's getting sick of the criticism from you Yankee fans and all the media saying he's cheap and then telling them, oh, why don't you spend like Steve Cohen in the Mets? So I think maybe he'll change his mind. He's getting sick of it.
And don't forget Andrew Friedman on the Dodgers, the general manager. He's like a big spender too. That guy in the Dodgers.
I don't blame I don't blame Yankees fans though if they already have lost hope for this offseason, because let's be honest, like what else is out there for you to get, especially starting pitching wise? What else is out
just
there?
That the trade with Oakland. That's it. Montas and Manaea. And then unless Luis Castillo falls in that lap, because the Reds I heard want to trade everybody now. But they said the only way you could get Castillo is if they give you Joey Votto. Now we got to take on Joey Votto's contract. So that's two. Where are you going to put Joey Votto? They have Rizzo.
Nah, that's not happening. No, the only moves I see them doing is Oakland, maybe Sean Murphy, Manaea, Martez, maybe the center fielder, Ramona.
Yeah. What about Nicholas Castellanos? I don't know.
Yeah, because they have Gallo already and his defense.
I would trade Gallo. I would trade Gallo too.
Why not get Sean Murphy?
He's
Sean Murphy. Yeah.
Well, they could. They could still do that with Oakland.
Yeah, they could do that in a trade with Oakland if they trade for Manaea or Montas. But
well, they should.
I don't know if they're gonna what they want the Oakland is. I hope that the Yankees aren't going to tell them no again, like they did with Matt Olson.
Conforto, though, I don't know. He had a weird year last year. If I'm being honest with you.
But if they pull that trade off, that saves the Yankees off season. I mean, but as of right now, it's not.
Well, we got Trevor Story. Trevor Story is available. Correa is still available. Conforto, Castellanos.
We're not going to get Trevor. I don't think we're going to get Correa. I did hear Trevor Story would take a 1-year deal. So maybe they'll sign him.
Yeah, but then I'm hearing Minnesota's willing to give him 5 years. So
yeah,
we'll see. That's true.
Conforto's not coming. I don't want Conforto. Conforto was terrible last year. I don't know where he's going. What team's going to take that guy?
Yeah.
Well, the Yankees were talking about Conforto.
Yeah. They said now they're not going to trade. The Mets said they're not going to trade McNeil now because they're keeping Jeff McNeil. I guess they should. J.D. Davis they should trade.
J.D. Davis, they should trade him.
Dominic Smith,
yeah. One of the best fits I think for him would ironically be for my Rangers. Ironically, because
I think the Mets are done spending. They're probably going to add another reliever, and that's it. Yeah, it doesn't look like they add offense. They need another hitter. Well, so this looks like this is. I don't know. The Yankees are. They better do something very fast because it's getting a little boring. It's getting very boring.
Spring training games actually start tomorrow.
It starts tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it.
Yes, the Poker Sports is going to be at the Nationals and the Marlins, 6:05. I'm going to try to get Don Manager, Ron Soda. I already got his order back. Maybe Pablo Lopez. What about the Yankees make a trade with the Marlins, get some of the young pitching?
Oh, yeah, but they just locked up Sandy Acura.
Get some.
They just re-signed that guy, and the other guy, Cisco Sanchez. I don't have to get a trade for them now.
Yeah, the Marlins are kind of looking to compete. I don't know if they're willing to trade anyone.
I would trade for one of those starters, or that other guy. What's his name? Rogers on the Marlins. But they're going to probably want a lot for him again. Yeah, I'd fire Brian Cashman too. I hate him. I can't stand him.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten fired a year or two ago, because Yankee fans have just been frustrated with him, and I don't know. And on top of that, I don't even think you guys like Aaron Boone. I don't think anyone does, actually, come to think of it. And Aaron Boone, he does have some weird, let's just say, management skills or thoughts.
He's terrible.
Yeah, he knows he grew up in baseball, right, with his father, Bob Boone. So it's not like you don't know his brother's Brett Boone. So it's not like
he
you don't
knows
know
it, but it's like I said though. It's like he thinks he can just play the old the old sort of game of like, hey, powerhouse versus powerhouse is gonna win. It's like it doesn't work like that. Like I said, and I've been saying it from day one. A lot of the Yankees' thought process is a bit too old school for the game. They need to catch up.
Yeah, but too much with analytics and numbers.
That's what they always go by. But you know what? This guy, Brian Cashman, never made great trades to begin with before analytics. So he always made terrible trades. Look at all the horrible trades. Javier Vasquez, Jarrett Wright, Carl Pavano, Corey Lytle. I could go on and on. I mean, he never made a great trade. He was always terrible. And
Sonny Gray.
Let me ask you this, though. When George Steinbrenner was alive, why didn't he fire Brian Cashman then?
Because he's loyal. He's with them since the 80s. He's not going to get rid of him. Cashman is he's like the mafia. Once you're with them, you can't get out.
Yeah, yeah. Like Al Pacino says, once they, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back. Yeah, but
he can still work at the concession stands.
But he wore out his welcome. He's been on the team for too long now, Cashman. He's old. He's like an antique. He's like an old car. That's it. He's got to be replaced.
Yep. Well, the Yankees don't like to change things. They like to keep things old-fashioned. CC Sabathia, they bring him back for spring training. He's supposed to be the instructor now in spring training.
Well, I don't mind as long as he's not going to be part of the team, play on the team again. But but Cashman is like he's been on this team since he was 18 or 19. I mean, come on, that's too many years.
Out of college, he probably started.
His father was best friends with George Steinbrenner, I heard, or something. Their fathers were best friends. So what does that mean? He's got to be on the team for the rest of his life?
Yeah, well, I guess they're so loyal to him. He knows the system. He knows the plays. He knows everything about them. So if they got rid of him, who's going to take his place? Theo Epstein. I like Theo Epstein.
Come on, what about is there any other GMs that are going to be free agents? I mean, what about the guy in the Padres, the guy in the Rays, the guy in the?
Those are his friends, Jed Hoyer. Those are all his friends. Jed Hoyer, Theo Epstein.
Yeah, I know, but there's other better GMs. He's like, I mean, there's about 4 or 5 GMs that are better than him.
Yeah, but they're not going to leave their team. No way they're going to leave to help.
I'm just saying though. Well, then I guess Theo Epstein, but he's also old, but he's a better GM than Cashman.
What do you want, Dave Nabrowski?
No, I think I have the perfect guy in mind. After all, one of the reasons why he said he left the Marlins was because he wanted to spend money. Why not make Yankee fans happy and bring Derek Jeter in as your new GM?
Jeter be the GM. Yeah, that'd be funny. Right?
I don't know if that's possible. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but
if he said he wanted to spend money, I mean, why not?
Yeah, I hope he actually does a great job, but I don't even know if that's even an option.
No, I think the Yankees will get Maria. The Yankees have to get pitching. Luke Floyd has no position, and Torres and LeMay, they can't play all of them. They have to get pitching.
Yeah, what else are they going to do now? There's no other. They just got shut out by everything that they were supposed to do.
All right, who would you rather have, Minaya or Frankie Montez? You have to decide.
I think Frankie Montez. I could take both of them. I mean.
See, that's the thing. Minaya is a free agent next year, so you don't have to give him top prospects. For Montez, you would have to give him at least one top prospect.
Yeah, I personally think they're going to sign Minaya because he's a free agent. But I would like Montez. He's younger too.
Yeah, well, both of them I think are around.
You better jump on the straight too because other teams are going to start getting involved. I heard Minnesota Twins now, Detroit Tigers get involved. So you better hope.
The Yankees, I think they'll get a pitcher, but Yankee fans still won't be satisfied. Oh, they got a starter, but I want Correa, I want Story.
Yeah.
Yes, Manai is a lefty, so he would be good. But like he's a free agent next year, so you don't have to give up that much.
Yeah. The only thing he's not, I looked at his numbers in the playoffs. I know you can't always look at that, but the guy's got horrible numbers. But I mean, I guess you got to look past that.
Well, there's a lot of starters have high ERAs. Chris Sale is could be out 3-4 months now.
Stress fracture. I saw that.
Yeah, see, and everyone says, "Oh, the Reds." What happens if they go get hurt? I don't like.
They lost Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, to the Tigers. So there's only the Blue Jays that really improved. They added Kikuchi.
The Blue Jays are monsters.
I know.
They are monsters now.
They're going to be good. I'm still not afraid of the Matt Chapman trade, though. Matt Chapman is like
his defense is good, though.
No, defensively he's great, but offensively he's like a low average hitter.
He'll hit home runs, though, and try.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Toronto can be a hitter's ballpark, and with Matt Chapman's power, I wouldn't be surprised if he hit like 30.
See, I'd rather have the Yankees get Chapman than Donaldson. He's younger, defense, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would have definitely rather had Chapman than Donaldson. Are you kidding me?
Sale is done. Yep.
Sale's not done. He's just injury prone. There's a difference.
I think Sale. Yeah, he's getting old.
I think the Red Sox are going to have to do something. They have to make a move. They're going to have to do something.
I mean, it's good for the Yankees. It's huge for the Yankees, but they better make a trade. The Yankees.
Yeah, but the Yankees have to face Anthony Eovaldi, and let's be honest, they haven't done much against him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Yankee killer.
That's why, which is ironic because he was a Yankee.
Yeah, he beat the Yankees twice in the playoffs. I don't know what it is.
Miami Marlins. Yeah, he was with the Marlins, and then he goes to the Red Sox. Maybe some guys just can't pitch in New York. They pitch better, like Sonny Gray. Maybe he just can't pitch in New York.
Yeah, it's like I said all the time. It really depends on the kind of people you work with and the kind of I guess you could say vibe you get around them. If you get guys you work good around, it that for some reason just makes you better.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, it's going to be interesting what the Yankees do. A lot of teams improved. The Blue Jays improved. The Mets improved. The Dodgers improved.
Yeah, they always improve. All they needed to make was one big move to put them back on the map again. The Dodgers are already a favorite. They had Freeman.
Texas improved too. Seattle, Winkler, Robbie Ray, and the young players. Seattle's going to be tough.
The Yankees are just I don't know what they're doing this team. They're just like asleep.
It seemed like every team that needed to get better got better, and then
all the big market teams didn't do. With the Dodgers, that's about it. But if you look at all the other big market teams,
if you're a team like the Astros or Dodgers, you don't even need to really do anything. Because let's be honest, either your prospect pool is full, or you just need to re-sign, or even better, keep packing on that offense. Let's be honest, the Dodgers didn't need to sign Freddie Freeman, but they did it anyway. Why? Because World Series. Yeah.
Yep. The Dodgers spending like Steinbrenner used to spend. And they're good at everything. Developing, scouting, trades, free agents. I wish the Yankees could do all of this if they were just smarter people. They do the right, smart signings, developing guys. They got like 5-6 guys they developed, trade, and signed. Oh, pretty well-balanced team, the Dodgers.
I think it was Hawkins.
Yeah, I think one weakness the Dodgers have, they need one more starter, and they're both because they did lose Jansen and Joe Kelly.
Yeah, they need relief. They need relief pitching. The Dodgers. That's their problem. They're both weak.
Their bullpen is still really good. I mean, it's not like
they don't really have any weaknesses. But if you're gonna say they have a weakness, probably that's what it is. Because Jameson is a choke artist. He's like Chapman.
It can still get the job done. But here's the main flaw that no one pays attention to. That is the big flaw about the Dodgers. Dave Roberts. He overmanages that team like a mofo. If you're a good pitcher or a good pitcher at all, he will abuse your arm like he did Max Scherzer.
Yeah, I mean that's the he's not they won the World Series though, but yeah, I mean he's like he second guesses a lot.
Yeah,
I mean he's just not a great he's not a manager's manager.
No, he's one of those managers that I guess is okay, but people overrate him because he's surrounded by a super team.
Yeah. But boy, I wish I was a Dodger fan. I mean, it's just gotta be great to be a Dodger fan right now because they get all these big stars and their fans must be like open arms that we don't do that. Just Garrett Cole is the last big signing, and then they just they don't do anything.
Well, they don't want to do all these big long-term contracts. Garrett Cole, they got Garrett Cole because they had no top pitching. They needed an ace. They came up in 2019 with Altuve. Hitting that big home of Chapman and LeMahieu saved the Yankees. Without LeMahieu in 19, the Yankees had no chance to even get that far.
Yeah.
So, the Yankees, they were interested in a lot of guys, but they have their limits, and all these big contracts they're still with. Gave LeMahieu 6 years. Everybody wanted LeMahieu back then. He got hurt. Now everyone don't want LeMahieu. He's too old. They're never satisfied. Just think if they got Correa and then in 3 years he sucks and he starts getting hurt and old. Oh, Correa, that was a bad signing. But you wanted him, right? What about the Yankees signing Correa and then in 3 years he gets hurt?
I mean, yeah, that's a risk that, I guess you're willing to take. But you could say the same thing for everybody. What about Aaron Judge? If you resign him, he might get hurt. The guy's only stayed healthy twice in his career. I mean, you don't know if he's going to stay healthy the whole 6 years, whatever they give him. He's going to probably come back, though. They're talking about resigning Judge. So.
Yeah, anytime you sign a superstar to anything long-term, it's always a risk, no matter what.
Yeah, Maria, I agree. Domingo Montes. I wish they would release him.
Domingo Harmon is a guy that you guys can use. There's a lot of players actually on that team you guys can use to get better as far as like trade currency.
I heard. We didn't talk about this. I heard there's the Orioles Cedric Mullins, but the Yankees should get him. He's a center fielder, speed.
Yeah,
Mullins is a guy I would look at.
Yeah, I did mention that once. Yeah. Mullins is athletic. He's got speed. I don't know if they're going to trade him. He's like that best player.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You got to ask yourself, though, like, number one, how much would they ask for? Number two, are they even willing to part with any of those guys like Mountcastle, Mullins, Mancini, so on and so forth?
Should be a special guest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the dog. What is that, Puma?
Yeah, she's a special guest. She has to get her medicine.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, Boomer. You give her that medicine?
Yeah, she has to get her medicine. Yeah, they get old, and they got to treat them. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Yeah, the Yankees going to improve, Boomer. Don't worry. Tell Mr. Michael Costanza and Hill, the Yankees are going to be better. Nova Sports is going to the game tomorrow, and he's going to say Yankees are going to beat those Astros.
They're playing the Astros?
No, the Astros, but the Astros play there too. So I'm gonna be a lot of Astros and National fans there.
So what is it going to be televised the game on? Yes, or
no. It's a Marlins against the Nationals. Is it on MLB Network? I have to look. I could get it anyway because I get all the games anyway. The Hope Sports gets all the baseball and basketball. You got NBA pass, league pass, extra innings. But I could get it free anyway on Cody's. Anyway, that's a tip for all the people want to know.
MLB, do you have that big package, that baseball package?
Yeah, I have a little secret. There's ways around things, if you know what I mean.
Yep. Yeah, you have that Fire Stick, Cody, right?
Yeah, a lot of people got it. People know the secrets, if they were smart.
Yeah, I don't have that. I got to upgrade that.
Get everything you want. So the Yankees, they're gonna get Minaya and Montez, or are they gonna get only one?
I mean, I hope they get both. But if they get one of them, I'll be happy. And then I guess that's their offseason, which I'll be satisfied with. And if they do that, at least.
They have to do something. They have to have pitching, the center field. The question is, are they going to really go hard after a catcher, or are they going to just use the backup as a catcher?
I don't know that. Or a center fielder. Maybe they can still trade for a center fielder, but.
Yeah, because I don't think Steinbrenner likes to be criticized that they're saying he's cheap. They were saying, why is Steve Cohen spending money when you're not?
Yeah, he says he's not in competition with owners. Yeah, but you can't sit around and do nothing.
Yeah, because it's still part of New York,
I mean, you can't you have to be in competition because you're fighting against another, a team across town. You can't make it look bad. I mean, come on.
Yeah, let's be honest. If the Red Sox or the Blue Jays got Freddie Freeman, you don't think Steinbrenner would have done anything?
I don't think he would have. I think he would have just, did nothing. Probably just went to sleep again.
Honestly, the championship is not gonna happen as long as the Blue Jays keep doing moves like this, and the Orioles keep. Basically, let's just say every team's getting better.
I know, but if they would have been Freeman and Correa, they would have been a dangerous team right now. I mean, I think they would have definitely been a dangerous team.
Correa really want to go back to Houston. Why did he didn't go back yet?
Yeah, I don't know where he's going to go. He doesn't go to the Astros.
I think if I had to guess, it's because they're probably debating on both the years and the money. Because the big thing with the Astros, of course, is obviously the same concerns as mine, is the injuries and it's like we think you're worth this, and Correa's like, no, I'm worth that because when I am healthy, I'm arguably the best shortstop in the league. And the Astros like, yeah, but look at the cons of you, dude. Is it really worth it? And I think it's just going back and forth right now, kind of like a CBA.
Yeah. And he has a history of back problems, Correa too, and he's 27. So that's a young guy to have back problems.
Yeah, did you hear Zach Greinke return with the Kansas City?
Yep. And he can retire with them. Yep, he started his career with them. Good.
Yeah, one year deal.
I kind of understand Kansas City's moves, but then I don't at the same time because it's like, why are you spending money? You know your team's not ready.
Well, it's a 1 year deal. They're trying at least to have somebody. They're a young team. They got young players. Mondesi's a good young player. They got a couple of good young players on that. He's got Salvador Perez still. The Royals have to try to compete. The Central is weak, you know.
It is, but if you're the Royals, though, even if you get to the playoffs, there's going to be teams that just crush you because they're just
remember, they can always trade Greinke at the trade deadline if they're out of it.
I know.
Yeah, I don't like Greinke though. Greinke's not good. Greinke's career is like over.
It still makes you scratch your head a little bit and be like, what are you doing? What is
well, like the Yankees? If the Yankees out, would you trade Rizzo at the trade deadline?
If they're out of it. I don't know what they're going to do with the trade deadline. They never do anything.
Trade Chapman and Britton. They're free agents anyway. If they're Yankees,
yeah, I mean,
the Yankees 20 games out of the division. I think they should just trade Chapman and Britton.
Yeah, if they don't make the playoffs, they're going to have to sell.
Like they did with the Cubs. You remember they trade Chapman to get Torres? They could do that again.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys something.
They're always biased.
Let me ask you something. If the Yankees, let's just say, somehow finishes third or fourth, or they know they're going to, so should they just rebuild and start trading guys like Stanton, Rizzo, etc.? And only sign Judge. Start building.
Yeah, they could try to do that. But you think they would do that in New York? What about? Because remember, there's a 12-team playoff format, so there's 3 wild cards. Maybe they think they still have a chance at the wild card, like last year.
Yeah, but you look at the teams that are in the AL; they're stacked.
It wouldn't look good to the fan base that the Yankees had given up and trading them.
Yeah, they tried. You thought they were going to do that last year, and they didn't do it. I thought they needed a rebuild because we had all these flaws, but they didn't do it. They don't want to do that. They don't want to rebuild.
Maybe Chapman I would trade. He's a free agent. Chapman's choke on, so maybe I would trade.
Yeah, I would trade him. Well, if they don't want to do a rebuild, at least do a retool. They have to make these changes.
Sure, they could trade Chapman. I would. They could use Loaiza as the closer.
Yeah. Loaiza, I mean, he's good in the bullpen.
Yeah, maybe they'll do that. That'll be their future closer. Chapman will be gone, and they'll have to go with young guys. Like I said, they have to scout and develop and bring up guys and develop their bullpen guys. The starters, they have to bring up Lewis Hill. They got this Michael King, Clark Smith. Maybe one of them will be in a trade for Oakland.
Oh, no, yeah, those guys have to be in a trade. They're not going to use those guys, Clark Schmidt, They got to trade those guys.
Yeah, they're going to probably have to trade. I heard they want prospects. Can they even trade Torres? I heard they don't want everyday players. They don't want to take on contracts, so money. So they're going to
Torres, they can trade. They can definitely trade Torres. If they ask for Torres,
I heard they don't want to take on money though. Oakland, they want prospects. They said.
Well, Torres is not making any money.
Well, he makes some money. I don't know.
It's like $5 million. It's not that much.
Yeah, well, they want it. Maybe they don't want him that bad. Luis Castillo. If the Reds traded Jesse Winker, why are they holding on to Castillo?
Yeah, good question. I don't know. Because maybe they still think they can make the playoffs, but they lost Sonny Gray too.
I don't want them to go to the playoffs.
Well, you better be in the mood for it because there's a lot of
There's good deals. Teams, though. It is what it is. The Blue Jays are good. Even if the Yankees added Correa and Manaea, they can still lose to the Blue Jays.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, she's trying to say she wants the Yankees to win the World Series. She doesn't want.
No, nothing's a guarantee. Even if they add Correa and Manaea, they can still lose in the first round.
I mean, yeah, but at least they're trying. At least they try to, at least be like the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers aren't a guarantee either. But at least they're trying.
But I think they're gonna do a pitching, but Correa, I don't know. I'll be shocked if they got Correa. All the Yankee fans gotta apologize to Steinberg.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely say that he wasn't cheap. Well, with Garrett Cole, we apologize. Didn't look what happened.
You gotta apologize. Yeah, but then they're gonna say, "Oh, you got a cheater on your team. Oh, you said the Astros cheated, but then you add a cheater." They're gonna say, "Oh, Yankees are losers. They're fake."
I can't believe I'm gonna say this because I hate to quote this guy because I'm not really a fan of him. I just think he's a meme. But I think what he said in this case is true. But he did say like Yankees are gonna hate on Correa if he does sign. But the moment he hits a walk-off or gets a big hit, they're gonna apologize. They're gonna love him. You know, they're gonna.
Oh yeah, Correa. Let me tell you something about Correa. He's a clutch guy. He could wreck a game like at any moment. He's a dangerous hitter. I mean, especially in the playoffs. That's why I get him alone because he's a great postseason hitter. Look at his numbers.
One of the best.
Hey, he's like Beltran. I mean, he's like sick in the playoffs.
See, that's another problem. What about Judge doesn't get vaccinated and Rizzo, and they're not allowed to play at home games? Then they need another hitter.
See, that's another problem now. I hope they get back vaccinated because they're going to miss all these games. You can't have the. Now he's saying it's more than 2 players booing out on the Yankees. So how many players aren't vaccinated?
Well, there are only 2 I know, Rizzo and Judge.
Yeah, but now he's saying it could be a few more now.
Well, I know the Mets have a lot of guys. They don't.
Yeah.
I think
but they're not going to go into the season unvaccinated because then how are they going to play? They can't do that. They're going to ruin it.
That's why you have to have a farm system and add depth. The Yankees better add some depth for the bench, minor league moves, Tommy Pham or someone as depth. Because what about Judge don't play almost half the season? Who's going to play right field? You going to put Stanton every day?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about now. That's another thing. We're bad enough. Now we're going to have this. Did they have the mandates now for New York City that they can't play?
Unless that May Adams changes the rules, like with Irving. Are they ever going to change the rules for the Irving? George is vaxxed because he's got married in Hawaii and he's vaxxed to travel.
Is he even vaccinated, though, Kevin? You could talk.
Well, they said he's not vaxxed, but there's a loophole. Some people thought if you don't live in New York and you live in another state, you can still play, but it's not true. Irving lives in New Jersey and he still can't play.
What I was told, he said he's vaccinated because he goes, well, he didn't say it out like that. He goes, listen, I had a wedding in Hawaii. Yeah. In order to travel to Hawaii, you need to be vaccinated.
Why didn't he just tell
He didn't say he was or he wasn't. He didn't say he was. I know. Instead of being clear, what he said was he had a wedding, and we all saw the wedding. Schella was there, Torres, most of the team are there. So
now, what about Rizzo? Now Rizzo might not have to get it because he's a cancer survivor. So maybe he's not going to get it.
I don't know. That's going to be tricky. But I think those mandates are going to be done anyway, in my opinion, by the end of
I hope so, because you don't want to have more excuses. This guy can't play. That'll be like Irving. Can Irving play with the Nets? Are they going to fix that?
It looks like if the numbers go down, it looks like they might just, because it's about money. Everything is driven about money. If Brooklyn don't have a deep playoff run, the city of New York is not going to get any money. The Knicks are not going to make the playoffs. They're barely surviving.
What a static.
They're barely surviving the play-in tournament to get in the play-in. The Knicks, they need that revenue. If he's going to start with that, then Brooklyn is not going to go far in the playoffs. Then you're not going to have revenue in.
Just remember, Kev, it could be worse. You can have West.
Oh, and I was going to ask you this, though. What was Cashman's explanation for Donaldson? What was his reason why he traded for that man? Why? Did you hear me?
I'm like a robot. I'm a robot.
You don't hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
No, I said, what was his explanation for that trade? Like, why did he like Donaldson? Cashman.
I don't have the answer. I could find the video, though.
I heard he said that he loved his fire or something.
Yeah, why didn't Judge just say, "Oh, I'm vaccinated"? Why do you have to make a big deal? Now they're gonna make headlines out of it. I have to waste my time making a video about it. Just say you're vaccinated to make everybody happy. I know it's your private health. It's HIPAA laws. I know they have HIPAA laws. I know about that. And they have to keep things private. But just to shut everybody up, just saying you're vaccinated, because they're never gonna stop with the questions.
Yeah, maybe that's a way of deflecting away from the contract negotiation, the pressure of when are you going to sign with the Yankees? Are you leaving? Who knows?
Oh, man, what a crazy year. It's always something every year. It can never be a nice, stressful year. It's always something with the war in Ukraine and now Russia and then now the virus. Now it's going to be another virus in China. And they want a fourth vaccine. And sports athletes now, Stephen Curry's now could be out the whole year, and then the Warriors fans are gonna be crying now. What the hell? It's always something.
The only thing I'll say to Judge is, especially if Correa leaves, Brantley's gonna be a free agent. I think after this year, there's gonna be a spot open in the outfield for the Astros, or there's even one open for the Rangers.
Oh, you think the Astros will sign Judge?
Oh, if Correa leaves, they definitely got a chance.
No. You think he would go there?
He's not going to go to Houston.
Nah, he won't go to the Astros.
What if he does, though? What would be your guys' reaction?
Wow, what a real
Hey,
shot.
Andy Pettit went to the Astros.
Yeah, you never
That was his
know.
hometown. That was his hometown.
That was different, but
And plus, Judge is from California. And remember,
well, I think he would go to one of the California teams. Not going to go to the Astros.
Yeah, but the Angels need pitching. The Dodgers need pitching. They don't need offense.
Yeah, but the Giants.
They have pitch. Yeah, they need hitting. But him going.
But I don't like their pitching. There's nothing that we want to intrigues the Yankees to get in return.
Oh, I like a couple guys from the Giants. Scarfini, I like Logan Webb. I like those two.
The Giants, in my opinion, even better than the Mets, have the most consistent and best pitching staff right now on paper. Yes, even better than the Mets. The Mets had the best 1-2 punch in baseball, but the Giants overall has the best.
We'll see. But I like if Carrasco is healthy and Chris Bassett is good like last year. The Mets, I think, have the best pitching. The Giants were good like. You think they could do that against Scarfini, Logan Webb, no Gosman? Can they do it again?
I mean, dude, we're talking about a team that really does have options. They can literally rotate guys if they wanted to. The Giants. I mean, they signed Matthew Boyd, and they're not even sure if he's going to be in the 5th spot. So
and he's not even ready. They said he's out for 3 months. They're good at scouting and development. The Giants have like the best pitching development, so it wouldn't surprise me.
I think the best rotation's the Mets, though. The Mets have the best pitching.
Yeah, but the Giants, it wouldn't surprise me. The Giants are up there with the Mets. They're like the Tampa Bay Rays. As much as I say, Rays lost Galaz now and all these injuries, they always are good every year.
Yeah.
Tampa and
the Yankees get Manaea and Montas, but you said they have the best pitching in American League.
I still like the Blue Jays.
Who's that? Carly? How you doing, Carly? Is that a name?
Yeah, Blue Jays, I still think are the best.
Carly?
I don't know if we're going to do a division prediction or not, but I already know who I have for AL East.
Yeah, I got Blue Jays going to the World Series on paper. It's not a guarantee, but it's on paper.
Who's that?
I got Rays or Blue Jays winning that division. It's
White Sox are okay, but they choke a lot in the playoffs. Yeah, I don't trust them.
Red Sox and Yankees are going to fight for a wild card spot.
They should. It's 12 teams. If the Yankees can't make the wild card with 3 wild cards, then I think it's time to trade everyone and get young.
Yeah, if the Yankees do this again, what they did last year, we said this. They had to break the whole team up. They got to do it. When are they going to do? They're going to do it eventually. They can't keep this team forever.
They won't trade everyone. They'll do like maybe Chapman, Britton, small like those type of pieces.
I know, but you said you were saying it. They needed a whole new team.
Yeah, but then in New York, I don't think they're capable of doing that.
And if Vladdy plays like he did last year, he's definitely going to win the MVP. Unless someone just breaks out of nowhere.
I thought he should have won it last year. I mean, anyways, I forgot.
Shohei was a good pitcher and a good hitter. And that's hard to do both. That's why he won it. But if Shohei does bad on one side and Vladdy just goes off like he did last year, he's going to win the MVP.
Yep. Guerrero, they have a good that offense. Guerrero, Bichette, Biggio, Chapman, Hernandez, George Springer. God, do they have any weak spots in that lineup, the Blue Jays?
No.
Don't forget Teoscar Hernandez.
Yeah. Hernandez. I like
Okay.
Yeah, Hernandez, Springer, and then
Chapman, Bichette,
Biggio, Guerrero. Oh my God.
Biggio's gonna be a second.
Just the catcher.
Danny Jansen.
I know he's the weak link, and who cares?
He's the weak link, and he's still a solid player.
I know. They don't have anybody weak, and they're pitching.
I know it's blaspheming for Yankees podcast to be like, oh my God, Blue Jays, but still,
Yeah, this could be the first time since Carter. They had Joe Carter. This could be maybe they have a chance at a World Series, maybe the Blue Jays since Joe Carter.
Oh yeah, Joe Carter, remember him? Yeah, I don't know. You going as far as saying a World Series team? I wouldn't say that. I think I had free.
Blue Jays, I like that too.
Don't be surprised. Yeah, I want to be surprised.
They have a good young.
I know, but what happened last year? They missed the playoffs last year.
But now they have experience.
They barely did. They barely did though.
But if you look, all around, they put everything together.
Didn't they make it to the playoffs 2 years ago and they got knocked out? The Rays knocked them out of the playoffs.
The Mariners and Blue Jays are coming in this season hungry because they realized they were 1 game away and they're like, we don't want that same thing to happen. So that's why they went all.
I will say this though: if the Yankees played the Blue Jays last year in a playoff game, they would have got knocked right out.
The Yankees always have problems against the Blue Jays. In Toronto, they always have problems playing there. Even when the Yankees were good, they had problems every year. You remember when they had the top hitters when they had a Canacion and Batista on that team. They always had problems with them. So the Yankees, they have to add pitching and they have to see about center field. I would have loved that guy from the Mullins from the Orioles. Could they? Would the Orioles do that?
Oh yeah, I like that. I was just gonna say, but the Yankees struggle with everybody in the American League East. The Red Sox, the Rays, the Blue Jays. They can't beat anybody.
Well,
that was last year. Last year they didn't have a good season against the American League East.
No. Yeah, they're hitting. Well, they're hitting. They didn't score any runs. Remember
the Rays. The Rays ate their dinner. They always beat the Yankees. The Rays.
What was the problem? What the problem with the Yankee series against the Blue Jays were? The Blue Jays kept running on the Yankees. Every time they had a runner base on, they would just keep running, and they didn't respect the arm of neither of the catchers. Hopefully, that's why hopefully this with the new catcher and core could neutralize that.
Yeah, and it was because Gary can't really block a ball, so he was probably like what got him scared. And then you got Kyle Higashioka, who granted is really good at blocking pitches, but he can't throw a runner out, and that
he stinks.
Yeah, Higashioka is not. He's like
he's good. He's good at pitch framing and all that.
I thought he was. I thought he was actually good, but then I realized this guy sucks.
No, I don't like him. I like Bromine was a better catcher.
Oh yeah. Now you think this guy's gonna be good? I don't know. This guy from the Minnesota.
I think so. He's only 24 years old.
Yeah.
He's already touted as one of a really good defensive catcher. Hey, you never know. A ballpark in Yankee Stadium, the opposite field, short porch, opposite field hitting.
He's more of a defensive catcher, though, right? He's good defensively. They're not getting good.
He's a good defensive catcher. He's one of very good metrics, framing pitches, throwing. It has a strong cannon. Also blocking the ball in the dirt. So now the Yankees could go back to the split finger fastball now.
And they said he's a big. They said he's a big dude. Like he's
like 6'4", 6'5", big guy, big target. But he could block the ball in the dirt, and now you could throw the splitter. Yankees were getting killed with a lot of, outside breaking balls that was getting hit. Sanchez, you couldn't bounce it on the ground because Sanchez will give a pass ball.
Oh, I mean, he's going to probably be a way better catcher than Sanchez defensively. That's not, that's so easy. You could be a better defensive catcher than Sanchez. But like, is IKR? That's the guy that we got. Is he good defensive catcher too?
Yeah, he's very good defensively.
He's good.
He's good. He could get up he could defend up the middle, and just hopefully now in spring training they could just get that chemistry with Gleyber turning the double plays, the pivots, and so forth. And if they could get that going, remember when the Yankees win, when any team in the you have to be strong up the middle. You got to have a strong defensive catcher, shortstop that could get to the hole, get the plays. Gleyber Torres, it looks like he's a better second baseman than the shortstop. And then, the big wild card is Aaron Hicks, to be honest with you. That's if you want to be a worrisome, is Aaron Hicks. Is he going to come back with that arm strong? He's a solid defender.
Yeah, but I want Aaron Hicks trade. I'm not going to rely on this guy. You think Aaron Hicks is...
Who do you trade him for, though, is the question.
That's the thing. Who are you going to put at center field? There isn't a quality center field out there. And they're not going to give you... Don't say Kevin Marte, because they're not going to give you Kevin Marte for Aaron Hicks.
No, but then we need prospect.
Kevin Kiermaier's out there, but the Rays are going to ask for at least 2 or 3.
I don't want Kevin Kiermaier.
They won't trade with the Yankees to get him.
He's a scrub. I don't want him.
He's not bad. He wasn't bad.
Well, you're right. You make a good point. If they trade for Ketel Marte, they're going to want somebody more than just Aaron Hicks. You're going to want. But Aaron Hicks is always injury prone. He's constantly hurt.
And you're absolutely right. He's always got a hamstring issue. Last year with the arm, he needs to stay healthy. But it's nice to have when healthy, a switch hitting center fielder who could just get to all the balls and play and get to it.
He's actually going to play second base, from what I hear.
Who?
Aaron Hicks?
Ketel Marte.
Oh. No.
Because his defense in center is not good, so they want.
Yeah, he's not good defensively. I heard. Yeah.
No, he's still good in center, but they're gonna have him a second, so he's a top 3 second baseman right now.
So. Oh yeah, second, but that's the thing. They have LeMahieu and Torres, so
you could trade Torres and Hicks, I guess, in a package for him,
and put Marte in center.
Either that or second.
Because then you have LeMahieu. Just too many inclement parts. It's too late in the season. It's about to start, and you're going to make that kind of a move. And
I always was a fan of Marte. I think he's an exciting player. I just think he's 27.
Yeah, but then they weren't willing to give top prices for Olsen. How much? What do you think they're going to ask for Marte, the Diamondbacks?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to ask that much. You think it's going to be a big package like Olsen? You think?
Not as much, but if they're not giving up Peraza or at least one of their guys, you think they actually do the trade?
They won't do it. Remember, because they won't trade with the Yankees. They already got egg on their face for trading away Didi Gregorius to the Yankees. Look how it ended up. So they're like, oh, the Yankees are trying to fleece me again.
Oh, remember they got Brandon Drury.
Brandon Drury was an
God, he sucked.
He's so, and then they went to the Blue Jays.
Yeah. I'm just not hopeful. I hope that they make these moves, though. I mean,
they didn't say they're out. They never said the Yankees are out officially. I think they're officially out. You think Felipe is going to stop them from going after Story or Correa?
Well, see, this is why I was so upset the last couple of days ago, because when I traded Gary Sanchez, I thought this was going to lead to something bigger, and then we found out they got Donaldson, and then this other guy, and then it ruled out everything. I didn't think this was going to rule out everything.
That was still a good trade, or at least a fair trade, and I would stand by that. I
agree with you. I have no ill will on that trade with the Twins. I don't have no ill will. I'm already receptive, warm to it. They thought that clubhouse was too kumbaya, too nice. They wanted some fiery rah, and they got Donaldson. And then if it doesn't get a little out of control, you still have Rizzo there, that calming voice and so forth. So and
well, if they make that move with the Oakland A's, then I'll be a lot happier. I mean, I'll be happier with this move that I could forget. It'll make me forget about that.
Do you think the Yankees have the slowest team in baseball? Like, if you look at their lineup, and
I mean, they're still.
I thought IKA was going to bring some speed.
Yeah, but besides him,
IKF, he gets still 20 bags. And by the way, people forget IKF can also be a catcher.
Yeah, I know. I said that, but besides him,
an emergency.
But besides him, everybody on that team is slow.
I know, Judge, Stanton, Gallo, Rizzo. It's very like.
Now Tim LaCastro is going to probably be their backup.
I hope Gardner doesn't come back either. I hope this means Gardner.
Oh yeah, I heard they're saving his locker.
They're saving his locker.
Oh God. Not again. What are they going to retire his number in Monument Park?
Number 11.
The Yankees probably have it up there like reserved for the cutie Brett Gardner.
Oh please, you can take Brett Gardner. I just can't. I don't want this guy anymore. He's too old. Enough of Brett Gardner. Enough of the Brett Gardner show.
Oh no, he will. Probably not like great numbers, but put up good numbers on Yankee Stadium.
He's gonna put good numbers in Yankee Stadium. He's gonna do good numbers.
He's not gonna chase down the MVP again, but he'll definitely be a good.
Right. He's right. Correct. But he's gonna be decent. He's gonna be a good player for the Yankees.
I guess decent, but don't be surprised if he gets injured. He's gonna go to the injured list.
Yeah, and then they got LeMay. That's why you have LeMahieu. That's probably why. In a crazy nutshell, I won't be surprised if Luke Voigt sticks around and you platoon. You have Voigt.
Yeah, but we got to trade with Oakland, so you need to trade Voigt. You got to trade.
Exactly. If those trades don't go, I can see the Yankees platooning the lefty righty at first base with Voigt moving around. And you got LeMahieu to play third, and you could put Voigt as a designated hitter, stand on the outfield. Have that flexibility moving around. That's probably why. Also, they probably see. That they're probably already thinking about that already.
Yeah.
We're going to be on for another 10 minutes because the Giants program is coming on later.
Okay. All right, I'm almost. I got to go out and walk my dog. So I appreciate everybody having me come on. Just saw a Batman movie. It was not too bad. It wasn't too bad.
The Batman was pretty good. I thought it was better than Arkham Knight.
Then how many Batman movies they make? Like 10? I know they had Batman Begins, the Richard and Nicholson, and of course Jim Carrey, the Riddler. Now they had another Riddler, and then it was okay. But Robert Pattinson, he was okay. He was a little bit better than Ben Affleck, but I still like Christian. But I still like Michael Keaton the best, of course.
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Of course, you're my generation, Batman.
Yeah.
All right, so the Pope of Sports. I can't wait to see a video on the tomorrow on your spring training. Enjoy the games, my friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna
check out the videos. Yes, I can't wait. Definitely, man. Have fun.
I hope I see Don Manley. I really want to see Don Manley. I really want to see him. I watched his final year in '95 before he retired, so I want to see him.
Oh yeah, 94. You had the bad back, right?
Yeah. In the wild card game when he lost to Seattle Mariners. Remember Jack McDowell and Edgar Martinez running, and then he lost in the wild card game.
And then that home run off then the game winner for Jim Liritz off of Tim Belcher. Oh.
Give me an Altuve autograph, man. I don't know. I could trade you
Well,
some.
I should have got him, but all these idiots are bum rushing me. Say, oh, Tuve, sign. I was going to take a picture with him. I wanted to show everybody I was taking a picture with the cheetah because I'm a Yankee fan. I says, I want the Yankees to get Correa. I says, you think he's going to go back to Houston? He says, they should have signed him 3 months ago. He said they should have signed him. He's blatant. That's why you notice the front office now are trying to give him an offer. I think all the players are complaining about it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah, so it'd be nice. The Yankees get Manaea. We'll see if they get some surprising. We'll see. Maybe they make a surprise. Maybe Steinbrenner will get tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the backlash. I think he'll make a. I think if anything, there'll be a kind of knee-jerk reaction.
We're gonna give him an elbow, right?
Yeah.
Right, Mr. Michael Costanza. We're gonna give him an elbow. You know, listen, a rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna kidnap him.
Well, thank you, Pope. We appreciate it.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
All right, thanks for coming on.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up here in a few seconds.
All right. So it was a great show, and I just hope now the Yankees, they could surprise us and save this season for us. We're just making a trade for pitching. Who knows? Maybe they'll sign Trevor Story on a short-term deal.
Salute IC Blue. And Correa is a great player. I wish we got him. Well, he's still out there, Mike. So you never know. He's still out there. We never know. We never know what can happen. So we'll wrap up here in a moment. Heel, whenever you're ready, man. The chat, the world's most famous chat last night. Looking forward. There was a lot of wrestling chatter. Of course, they had AEW on. They also talked about Big E. The chat is waiting. The network is itching for it. We'll talk after everyone about when we're debuting, but they love the promo. They love it. They're ready to go.
I'll save the surprises backstage. I'll talk to you about it.
The road to WrestleMania is on its way, and we're ready to go. So, Michael, we'll give you the floor here to close up, and then we'll run the intro. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay, so not thrilled about this Yankees off season. I think we could have done a lot better, and but there's still a ray of hope, and just keep your fingers crossed. And all we need to do is make a trade with Oakland, hopefully for Montas and Manaea, maybe Luis Castillo, and then the Yankee season is saved. And then there's nothing to be really nothing to be upset about if we make that. But that is the last ditch, I think, for the Yankees to save this season, a trade for pitching. And I think that would save this season, and then the Yankees should be all right. And who knows? I mean, but if we do nothing and we miss out on this, then once again, the Yankees have had a dreadful offseason. And like I always say on my show, it's over.
All right. So hit that like and share. We'll see you next time.
The New York Yankees? The New York Yankees! Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, Costanza.
I must say, with all due respect, I find it very hard to see the logic behind some of the moves you have made with this fine organization. In the past 20 years, you have caused myself and the city of New York a good deal of distress, as we have watched you take our beloved Yankees and reduce them to a laughingstock, all for the glorification of your massive... The little light is blinking right now. Come and listen to the